He's an ego character. He is my ego personified, right? I can't even spell. Ego personification, right? So really, I'm taking that whole part of myself that wants to do all these great things, and I'm just labeling it, right? I'm turning it into something that I can control, right? Instead of it just being there and expressing itself passively through different wants and internal drives. I'm going to say, I'm going to take control of this. Ego, you are my bitch. You're going to work for me. You're going to accomplish my goals. And if you ain't doing the job, I'm going to fucking fire you and create a new fucking character. All right? All right? It gives me more power. It gives me power, domain, over myself. Right? And it also helps me get, because when I was talking about how people are brought up, socialized, it is the goal of society to socialize everybody in the same way. Society is very much a thing that tries to make everybody equal, everybody the same. But in my opinion, the most unjust thing you can do is treat everybody the same, because that ignores their individuality, right? So society's goal, and it comes to mind a picture of like the 1950s or whatever, where like this picture, maybe you've seen it, of like everybody going to work on the street, perhaps in New York, and everybody's dressed the exact same way. Suit, hat, you know? Has anybody seen that kind of? And to me, that's what society wants to do. It wants to make everybody the same. You got your suit, you got your hat, and you're going to work. That's what society demands of you, really. Society doesn't want you to be an individual. Society doesn't want you to exceed everybody else, because that's not really in the best interest of society. Society is an engine that wants to preserve itself, right? It doesn't really give two craps about you. It just, society says, do this, do this, do this. The end result equals what? No, well, nobody really knows. But if you look around, the end result really seems to equal debt, you becoming a member of the working poor, you know? I don't really like, in my opinion, what society has plotted out for most people. And it's not a bad thing, it's just that this is the thing that you can have the choice to choose or not to choose, but nobody's giving you that choice before, right? So this, you know, because if you talk to people, you realize that most people want to be rich, they want to aspire to all these great things for their ego, but they don't have a way to actively pursue those goals, right? Because it's like, yeah, I want to be rich. Well, how are you going to get rich? You got no concrete plan? Oh, you're going to play a lot of art. Well, might work. Good luck. But if you know, if they said, I want to be rich, and I realize that this is my ego wanting to fulfill some desires, you get control of it, and you can say, well, what does it take for me to be rich? For me to logically attain that goal, what steps do I have to do, right? So this is my ego character. His name is Brian Fox, Rockstar Promoter, right? That's his job. His job is right there in the name. I don't always say it to people because they don't need to know all that, but I know. So what are his goals? His goals are $1,000 in revenue per week, $1,500 pictures, and then $1,000 people on my guest list. These are the goals for this character, right? In order for me to be a rock star promoter, I should at least be making $1,000 per week, right? You know, I should at least have a couple of thousand pictures. You know, that's what promoters have. These are the attributes I'm filling in, right? Gotcha. and I should at least have 1,000 people on my guest list. You can't be a rock star promoter if nobody comes to the event you promote, right? Very logical. But you see, these are things that I cannot go out to Walmart and buy. They don't sell 15,000 pictures of me partying in the club. They don't sell a guest list of 1,000 people. They don't sell $1,000 in revenue per week. So there must be some steps I have to do beforehand. So these are the goals, and here are the sub-goals. And the sub-goals help me get these. So, sub-goal. Let's see. Promoter friends. Club owner friends. Always talking to people. Surrounded by women. Megawatt value giver. All right, so by doing these things, I can move closer to these goals, all right? The more promoters I know, the more cool people I hang around, the more social status I get as being a rock star promoter. You're only as good as the company you keep. If you know a guy, and this comes from Matador, who's an actor, and you say, well, who do you hang around? And he names a bunch of people you never heard of, you know right there what kind of actor he is. He's an actor slash whatever. He's not a complete actor, he's on his way. But if he says, oh yeah, last week I was hanging around Denzel Washington, and I was kicking it with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, I helped him through a problem, then right there, by association, what level of an actor he is. You might not even have heard of him, but I've heard of those other guys, so association. Club owner friends, always talking to people. Of course, the promoter, he's a social guy. He's blah, 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 blah. Surrounded by women and megawatt value giver. I like, for me, this is very congruent with my personality. I decided to become a promoter because I'm out that much and I'm doing most of these things already. So it just makes sense. It's easy to fill into this role. But if I had something different, it was like Brian Fox, a world champion boxer. I could get there, but it'd be a lot harder for me to take on that role and to actively pursue that goal. And this is an avatar, a mask. They talk about people always wearing different masks for whatever the task is at hand or whoever you're around. You're a slightly different version of yourself when you're around your family. You're a slightly different version of yourself when you're around your friends. You're a slightly different version of yourself in whatever avenues and things that you do. So why not take control of it and realize and learn how to work that to your advantage, right? That's all this is. So when it comes to meeting women, I use this avatar, very good, because you're going to talk to a lot of women, you're going to be surrounded by women, and all this good stuff is going to be happening. So it's very easy to meet people, just by the process of sheer numbers. I'm coming in contact with a lot of women. I'm coming in contact with a lot of people in general. So, I know all this stuff. I've read the books. I can tell when somebody's attracted to me. So, boom, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. Very simple, very easy. That meeting women comes as a caveat to this. So the question I propose to you guys is, do you think that if you made an avatar, it would be an avatar for meeting women, it would be more to your advantage, more advantageous to that avatar to take conscious control over it, or to just leave it to chance? Which one do you think would work better?
It'd be better to be conscious and intentional about what you're doing, I think.
Yeah. There are guys who do very well leaving it up to chance. Just not me.
Before you go to the next stop, you got a bathroom?
Sure, go ahead. Take a break. 5-minute break.
Rock and roll. Good stuff.
Where's the bathroom?
All the way down to the left, to the right.
Find it to use it.